You are about to embark on a new journey.
Sure
Tell me
am.
about it.
South Carolina State University, HBCU, Historically Black College and University. I always knew I wanted to go to a HBCU. I chose South Carolina State because they gave me a scholarship from my grades, and I'm definitely coming into college with a way different mindset than I came into high school with. I'm getting those degrees, so
Okay.
um, I may fail a math class or two, but we're gonna retake them over the summer, and we're gonna be good.
Okay.
So yes, nothing's gonna stop me from getting this degree.
Hey, not all heroes wear capes. Some walk beside us. We are stronger than our scars. We are brighter than the dark. Every battle leaves a spark. Every story makes a mark. Come along with Uncle Greg. Enter the Storyverse.
Today I sit down with my former student Tatem Smith as she prepares for South Carolina State University. Through leadership and BSU, I watched Tatem become someone who is often first to arrive and last to leave. We talk identity, Black history, finding your voice, and what it means when she says she wears her Blackness like a badge of honor. First and foremost, tell me, who is your favorite superhero, and what do you think that tells us about you?
My favorite is Black Panther.
Wakanda forever!
All right, let's
Yes,
go. Why
and-
Black Panther?
Because he's black,
My king.
Stop it. Stop it.
and I like the very first Black Panther movie. I just like the whole storyline about being in Africa and Wakanda and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the exact storyline. But I remember Michael B. Jordan was trying to take over something. I don't know. But I liked Black Panther. He was my favorite.
When he fights for the fate of Wakanda, I will be right there beside him.
So, do you like Black Panther? You said you don't really remember the storyline, but do you like the way Black Panther made you feel at the
Yes,
time?
absolutely.
If you are not so stubborn, you would make a great queen.
I would make a great queen because I am so stubborn.
Tell me about that.
But Black Panther, Black moms had children dressed down when we went in the movie theater. Like my mama,
Okay.
she put me in the dashikis, and she had the face paint. I mean, like the African face paint or whatever on me.
The real question is, what are those?
And I mean, at the time, I was like, okay, she's overdoing it. But as I got older and I started looking at it from a different perspective,
It looks nice. Just whip it back and forth. What?
I feel like as little Black kids, you don't really see a lot of Black characters on television. Well, nowadays you do, but I feel like back then it was like a show-stopping moment.
A show-stopping
It was
moment.
a
I love
show-stopping
that.
moment.
Okay,
Yes.
because that was a big moment in
Yes,
history, right?
absolutely.
Like, it brought a Black character
Hmm.
as the protagonist to
Yep.
be a hero for everyone.
Absolutely.
Are you finished?
What does that tell us about you, Tatum?
Growing up, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood
Okay.
where I didn't see, kids that usually look like me. I had thick, short 4C hair. I'm clearly melanated. I got 2 Black parents. My sister was Black, and I feel like growing up, I didn't really appreciate my Blackness the way I should have. But something that helped me a lot is that I had a mom who always made sure that I understood my Blackness,
Okay.
especially growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, going to a predominantly white school. My mom made sure she taught me about the Malcolm X. She taught me about the Martin Luther King. She taught me about the slave ships and all these different things, and Christopher Columbus. She told me these things at home outside of school. So I feel like growing up, I was like I used to get so annoyed because we would come home from
Mhm.
school, and she'd be like, "How's your day at school?" And she'd be like, "Okay, tell me something you learned. We gonna look up the truth." And I used to get so annoyed. But as I got older, it's like something in me changed. I don't know what it exactly was, but something in me changed, and I was like, instead of me looking at my Blackness as something of shame, I look at it as a badge of honor. And I feel like my mom played a huge role in that because she always told me and my sister our hair was beautiful. My sister has curly long, it's 4C, but she has curly long hair. I have curly short hair. my mom never made me feel any different than my sister or any less than my sister because I have thick short hair. She always told me I was pretty the same way she used to tell my sister is pretty. And then, my sister is dark skinned, which gorgeous. I love my sister. She's dark skinned and I'm lighter skinned. My mom never put us against each other. She never compared us. She always told us we were beautiful. Our skin was gorgeous. So I feel like as I got older, I started to wear my blackness as a badge of honor. I wasn't hiding that. I'm black 100% all the time. So, things like Black Panther, things like reading the Asada Shakur book that I saw in your house, things like reading about Malcolm X and watching documentaries and having the opportunity to go to Charleston, South Carolina, and be able to go on a Gullah Geechee tour and learn about how Charleston was like the second biggest port or something like that. Being able to learn all these things, I'm like, wow, this is really a badge of honor. Every black person should know about Marcus Garvey, should know about Huey P. Newton, should know about Malcolm X. Every black person should know about them because they taught you how to free your mind. Before you free anything else around you, you have to free your mind. Once you free your mind, you can have a lot of power.
You know what? Something that I notice about you, Tatum, and something that my observations about you at school is you are hungry for knowledge.
Yeah.
I do truly think that you believe that knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And that knowledge does free you.
Absolutely.
And so I have watched you in class, in your classes, and in your pursuit of your studies, be inquisitive and curious and also patient. I've watched you be patient with others who are not always as inquisitive or curious as you.
Right. Yes.
Where does that come from?
I feel like most of it comes from my mom. I feel like my mom taught me a lot of what I do. Everyone who knows me and my mom always say every time me and my mom are interacting with someone and they know one of us, they always say, oh, you're acting just like your mom. Oh, this is where Tatum gets it from. I get a lot of the way I act from my mom. My mom is the same way. She wants to learn. She wants to teach. And she also is very patient. My mom, she tells me stories about how she goes on her job and someone makes an ignorant comment and she teaches them and she tells them, hey, this is inappropriate to say. Hey, this is how you address that situation. We're the same way. We also don't take no mess from nobody. You're not about to disrespect us. You're not about to talk to us crazy. You're not about to call us out of our name. So I feel like a lot of it comes from my mom.
And the way that you handle and carry yourself in teaching others, I think is very impactful.
Oh, thank you.
You really approach the world where you want everyone to feel seen.
Absolutely.
And elevated.
Absolutely. I think it's important for everyone to feel seen and everyone to feel heard. I feel like if you come, I used to struggle with that. If I used to have a temper on me and I felt like you made an ignorant comment or I felt like it was something you should know, I used to lose my temper. But then I realized if I'm losing my temper while I'm talking to them, they're not listening to me. They're worried about how I'm acting. So if I slow down and say, okay, this person did not have Tosh as a mom. This person has someone else as a mom. So they don't know this. So if I slow down and say, okay, here's what happened. X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the third. They're listening to the message I'm trying to send to them. They're not, if I'm freaking out and screaming at them and doing all that extra stuff, then they're not listening to me. They're, oh, she's screaming at me. Oh, she's doing this to me. So I feel like that's very important to have patience when teaching someone.
It's kind of like that saying that people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Exactly.
Most of the time people want to just be heard.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a big thing. Middle school, I had a rough time. 8th grade, struggles with mental health, dealing with a lot of racist, uneducated kids. And I realized that what I would want more than anything from the teachers, the staff, and the kids was to be heard. Just listen to what I'm saying. And maybe you can kind of understand both sides if you hear what I'm saying to you. So after I realized that, that's when I was like, oh, maybe I should hear other people. Maybe I should try to understand other people. And it doesn't always have to be about politics and race and all these different things. It could be about your mental health. It could be about the shoes you put on this morning. Some people just want to be heard, because I've been in that position at 12 years old, wanting to be heard and going to school and have no one listen to you. People laugh in your face, whatever. So I feel like it's very important to make sure people feel heard and feel seen. So that is actually the reason I wanted to join leadership, was because I understood what it was like to not feel seen and not feel heard. So sophomore year, I hit rock bottom again. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard. All these things. It's just everything is crashing down on me. But then I realized, okay, so I finally figured it out, got my life together, was able to do whatever I need to do. And I had people to help me. Miss Kelly, my English teacher at the time, my friends. I had those people to help me. Not everyone has people like that. Not everyone didn't get Miss Kelly in their life. Everyone didn't have my mom in their life. Everyone didn't have my English teacher in their life. Some people have to figure it out on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So what can I do to make people feel seen and heard? So I joined leadership. I was like, leadership is the best option for me. I wish a lot of teachers knew that I wasn't lazy. I was struggling mentally. And I was going through a rough time at school. I was going through a rough time with friends. Um, a little bit of a rough time at home as well. Not getting along with my sister and, my father really. So I wish a lot of them understood and was able to see that it wasn't me being lazy. It was me being depressed and losing. I feel like I was losing my purpose and definitely losing motivation. Um, I definitely felt like a lot of people didn't understand me and didn't see me for who I was. That's why when I got Miss Kelly for modern world history,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like she saw that I wasn't lazy, I was struggling mentally. And instead of her yelling at me or degrading me for having bad grades, she would tell me things like, because I was always good at history. So she would tell me things like, do you need extra help studying for your math final or your English final? Or she'll be like, maybe the study method that you use for history, you should use for your math and English final. Because she was like, she was able to see my grades. She saw them grades. I had a good grade in her class, but she saw them grades in the other class. So I feel like a lot of teachers didn't really um, see my struggles. They just thought I was being lazy or wanting to sleep in class or whatever else.
How did you grow from that?
Ooh, oh, it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. I feel like I've learned to calm down. My temper. I feel like I've learned to, what's the saying? Stop and smell the roses.
Roses?
I've learned to stop and smell the roses.
Like,
Um,
enjoy what's happening.
enjoy what's happening. In the past, I failed a test. My entire week would be ruined. I joined leadership. My grades, it showed a huge difference between sophomore and freshman year and below versus junior and senior year. And I feel like leadership helped me through that a lot, because I fail a test. Okay, I still have the next test to do better. I can do the homework. I can do this quiz. Ask her if I can retake X, Y, and Z, and I'll be fine. So I feel like it's taught me to calm down, stop and smell the roses, not beat myself up so much. It's taught me a lot of things, I feel like.
Ooh, those are all such good lessons.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
It had a ripple effect into other areas in your
Mhm.
life, like your grades,
Mm-hmm.
but that you learned that mistakes that you made,
Mhm.
like failing the test or something
Mhm.
like that, were not the end of the world.
Mhm.
Especially at school, it was the place to practice,
Mhm.
right? So you were able to say, okay, dust yourself off, right? Try
Yes.
again, like go to the
Yes.
next one.
Absolutely. Junior year, Spanish. Oh my gosh. I've been taking Spanish since 8th grade. It was one of the hardest classes. It was so hard to me.
Mhm.
Sophomore year, I failed a test, I would give up. My grades reflected that. Junior year, I failed a test. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back and ask her if I can retake it. I went back and asked her if I could retake it. She told me I could retake it just because I came back and asked her if I could retake it and told her that I would study, and I had written out the study guide. So that's the type of things that leadership taught me, to take initiative, things like that.
And to
Yes.
advocate for yourself.
Advocate for myself. Absolutely.
I want to, like, any student that's listening, I want to, like,
Mhm.
clarify here,
Mhm.
because you said a key piece of here that I think that people might miss.
Mhm.
They might just hear, oh, she asked to retake the test and she got to retake the test. No, you said you had the study guide. You were actually studying.
Absolutely.
And you showed that effort, and you
Absolutely.
asked to retake it. It wasn't like I just didn't do good. Can I do it again?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I did.
But you put in that work
Mhm.
in between.
Yep. And I was not always like that at all. But I started being like that because I knew I wanted to go to college. I wouldn't be going to South Carolina State University if I wouldn't have, locked in school. I was looking at my future rather than the here and the now. So I wrote out that study guide, and I went back and I asked her if I could retake it, and she let me retake it, and I passed her class.
Let's go.
Yes.
You are about to embark on a new journey.
Sure am.
Tell me about it.
South Carolina State University, HBCU, Historically Black College and University. I always knew I wanted to go to a HBCU. I chose South Carolina State because they gave me a scholarship from my grades, and I'm definitely coming into college with a way different mindset than I came into high school with. I'm getting those degrees, so
Okay.
I may fail a math class or two, but we're gonna retake them over the summer, and we're gonna be good.
Okay.
So yes, nothing's gonna stop me from getting this degree. So.
Why is a degree so important to you?
My ancestors worked for me to have these opportunities. They fought for this. And they fought hard for it. They were in the South. It was in a time where the South was rooting for their oppression. So they went to bed at night not knowing if they was going to live through the next day simply because they was Black. So I feel like when I think about being a lawyer and all these different things, when I think about my purpose, I think about literally all I think about is my ancestors worked and fought for this, for me to have these exact opportunities that I have. My Blackness is a badge of honor, but specifically I want my law degree to be able to have a voice for those who do not.
A lot of people go to college with a very specific path in mind, and then that path changes
yeah,
and moves
true.
around,
Yeah.
which whether yours stays steadfast and this is exactly what you want as a lawyer, or you end up finding another way, I do believe that that goal that you have, that you want to be a voice for people that don't have a voice,
Absolutely,
is what will always stay constant to you.
Yep. I used to talk to my mom because I was worried, because I used to tell her, well, what if that's not what I want to do? What if I change my major? What if I end up not wanting to be a lawyer? And I realized no matter what I do, the idea of me having a voice for those who do not is going to stay the same. No matter if I change my degree to business, marketing, agriculture, whatever it is, I feel like the idea of me wanting to have a voice for those who are not heard is going to stay the same.
Why is that important?
Ooh.
Why is that important to you?
Because a lot of my ancestors did not have a voice. They did not have a voice. My grandmother growing up, she didn't have a voice. Both my grandmothers growing up didn't have a voice. Both my grandfathers didn't have a voice. This is one thing that made me really think about it. Specifically, both of my grandfathers were very intelligent, very, very intelligent men. Were chefs, extremely smart. One of them had like 3 degrees. He was working on his third when he passed away. But they were Black men in a time that rooted for their oppression. So being a Black man in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and even 70s, it wasn't easy for them. So they got caught up with other things that they, some extracurricular activities
to survive.
And I feel like a lot of times when I think about this, I don't even think my parents know this, I think about both my granddads who got sent to war at young ages and was messed up psychologically, who had kids who, they didn't really know how to love properly, who were smart but didn't know what to do with their intelligence. Um, Dropping out of one of them dropped out of college. He was very smart, could do math, draw, color, did all those different things, but he was misguided. He didn't know what to do with the intelligence that he had. So it's like when I think of being a lawyer, I think of my granddad. I think of my other granddad. I think of my grandmas too, being single moms in the 70s and 80s. It wasn't easy for them either. So I feel like when I think of being a lawyer, I think of my ancestors and the opportunities they didn't have. And it's not always way back. Like I just said, my mom and dad dealt with things that I don't have to deal with. It gives me motivation to keep on going, to keep on going, because I know that my ancestors did not have the same opportunities as me, the same knowledge as me. So when I think about, oh my gosh, this is a lot of reading. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of writing. Oh my gosh, I don't feel like doing this math problem. I think about, oh, but my granddad would have did it if, other things in his life didn't get in the way. And he would have did it in a heartbeat. So if he can do it, if he would do it, then let me do it for him. Let me do it for my grandmothers who were single moms in the 70s and the 80s, struggling. Life stops for nobody. My cousin Malia told me that. But when I was going through it, she's told me, she said, life stops for nobody. And that's not her being insensitive. That's her telling the truth. I can be sad. I can be mad. I can be hurt. I can be depressed. But that teacher's still going to come into class and put that test in front of you. You still going to have to clean the kitchen when you get home from school. You still got to get dressed and go to school every day. When you start real life, because I remember I was upset because my mom wouldn't let me take like a bunch of days off of school. And she told me, she said, when you get out into the real world, and if you're sad or depressed and you have a job, you still got to get up and go to that job, or else guess what? Man, we don't need you on this job no more. You're gone. True. Yes. So I feel like that's the hardest lesson that I learned, was definitely life stops for nobody.
And that is a valuable lesson, because really what we're talking about is resilience, the ability to bounce back, and the ability to know that you can do hard things and you can endure hard things, right? You have that resilience that, this knocked me down, but I still need to get some things done.
Yes.
And absolutely. There's a lot of students, especially, right, in this younger generation. There's a lot of adults too, but there's a lot of students in this generation that struggle with that. Something knocks them down and they're down for the count.
And I agree with you.
And you can do hard things. Yes. You have to get back up.
Yes.
You need to get back up. Yes. Everybody wants you to get back up.
Yes. And that also goes back to, I know I keep on bringing this up, but my ancestors, man, like I said, being a single black mom in the 70s and 80s was not easy. I know
it's not easy today.
Exactly. So I know that they had to deal with some hard things, but I understand that, I may be, like I said, sad or disturbed.
Going through it.
But I still got to pass some classes.
You have to find the tools and the strength and the resilience to be able to do hard things.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's something I had to learn the hard way.
If there's one lesson you wanted them to take away, what would it be?
It's to be kind. 2 is to keep on going. Do it sad, do it mad, do it angry, do it depressed, but do it.
This is Enter the Storyverse, where ordinary people become main characters. And thank you for letting us step into your story.
Enter the Storyverse.